Global Ties Detroit works with USAID Belarus to implement the Community Connections program. It's an international exchange program for the people of Belarus, and one of the main themes of that program is social entrepreneurship. Detroit has a lot of experience with social entrepreneurship because there are a lot of social issues in Detroit that need to be improved upon. Detroit was a large city of about 2 million people in the 1950s, and over the past 60 years it's lost a lot of population because of the economic crisis. This has created a lot of social challenges for the people of Detroit. Things like poverty, homelessness, and unemployment, and also things like vacant space and manufacturing centers that are no longer working. So people have come together and worked to revitalize the city through social entrepreneurship. That means that they are working together to come up with innovative solutions using technology, using volunteers, and using business practices to create innovative solutions to these social problems, helping employ people and revitalize the city and improve the communities there. So what is social entrepreneurship? As I mentioned before, social entrepreneurship is a method of using entrepreneurship to solve social problems. Some examples of these are using empty space that used to have industrial functions and using them now for co-working spaces or business incubators. Another way is using that space to have community gardens or food production. Another idea of social entrepreneurship would be to empower people who weren't traditionally entrepreneurs. These are people such as women who are returning to the workforce after having their families and finding ways for them to develop new entrepreneurial initiatives based on some of the skills that they've learned to create new ventures. All these programs are based on entrepreneurial principles, meaning that they still are profit-driven, and this makes them sustainable. Some of our entrepreneurial areas that are in co-working spaces would include something called the triple bottom line. This means that in addition to being profitable enterprises, they're also good for the environment and good for the community. And so that's what's called a triple bottom line social enterprise. But there are a variety of social entrepreneurial programs that happen in Detroit. And the more people work together, the more they come up with solutions for these social problems. One advantage of working at Global Ties Detroit is that we've had the opportunity to host 5 delegations so far from Belarus. And when these delegations come, we learn about their ideas and their experiences, and they learn from us. And we think that this is a mutually beneficial project because we can learn from best practices of Belarus, and Belarus can learn from the best practices in Detroit. And this way, both of our economies can be revitalized and our communities can be improved. So we think through these international exchange programs and through the development of social entrepreneurship, our communities and our lives will actually improve. We're also hopeful to have a closer relationship with Belarus. It's a fascinating and beautiful country. Our populations of your country and our state are both about 10 million people. We both have citizens that are educated in engineering and innovative solutions, and I think both Belarus and Detroit have a bright future ahead, and entrepreneurship and social entrepreneurship are definitely a big part of that bright future.